For the ninth play of Christmas, my favorite game gave me Ultron and Ms. Marvel, Mysterio and Nova, Waspy, Tasky, Master, Silly Pigs and Goblins, Storm and Sandman, Angry Wanda, Nebula and Drang, Rocket and Hood, and a mech and 8 scary minions. Hello and welcome back to the 12 Plays of Christmas. My name is Josh, and in this 9th episode of the 12 Plays of Christmas, we're going to be taking up Ms. Marvel in Aggression up against Ultron in Expert Mode, and he has the Temporal Modular Encounter set from the Kang Pack. Now, I find the Ultron to be particularly difficult on Expert, and I've only beaten him a couple times, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. Now, if you haven't seen this series before, I'm playing my 12 favorite heroes versus my 12 favorite villains in the month of December to celebrate the Christmas season. And I have to say that this has been such an absolute blast, and I'm so glad I did this. I've been having so much fun with these games. That last game with Nova was absolutely incredible, how crazy and how fun it was. So, really looking forward to this one. And there's a lot riding on this matchup because this is the third aggression game. I was playing all 4 aspects evenly across the 12 plays, and this is the third aggression video, and I have yet to win a game in aggression. Scarlet Witch lost at the last second against Spiral due to very poor play on my part, and Wasp, that one just didn't go well. But now, similar to Nova versus Mysterio, we have another very interesting matchup that I'm taking advantage of, so I'm hoping that will result in a win. Because I mentioned when I opened up Ultron at the end of the last video that he just enables very fun and very specific strategies because he's constantly putting out these 1/1 drone minions. And there are many ways to take advantage of little 1/1 drone minions, especially when you're playing aggression. So this just worked out particularly well. And I actually already had an aggression Ms. Marvel deck that I really enjoyed, all based around the card No Quarter. When this card came out with Nova, I knew I was absolutely going to love it because it's the kind of card you can build around and it lets you draw cards. And if you've seen me play, by now you know I absolutely love drawing cards. I build a lot of decks that revolve around drawing cards. I just think it's so much fun. And I like the way No Quarter works because it kind of makes you work for it. So the way this card works, it's 2-cost event and aggression. One of the resources paid for it has to be a punch, and it is an attack that deals 4 damage to an enemy, and then for each point of excess damage you deal to that enemy, basically how much more damage you do than you need to, you discard the top card of your deck and you get to add each aggression card discarded this way to your hand. So it's kind of risky because you're not necessarily going to draw cards, but the more excess damage you do, the more chances you have, and you might add a lot of cards to your hand. But this works best if your deck is full of aggression cards. So what I have done is I have only included aggression cards in this deck, other than the 3 doubles. I'm still going to use those. And this is a 50-card deck. I wanted to get as much aggression in here as I possibly could. I never play 50-card decks, but I have played this deck before. Now, I didn't test this particular matchup for this video, but I've played this deck in the past because I really, really like it, and it worked well. It should work particularly well against Ultron because it's not hard to do a lot of excess damage against 1/1 drone minions, and the Temporal Modular Encounter set also has some small minions in it, so that should work nicely. And this is a really good strategy for Ms. Marvel just because of her ability that lets you bounce events back to your hand. So I can guarantee if I want to that I have a No Quarter every single turn. And of course it also works well with Ms. Marvel because of Embiggen. She can actually make No Quarter deal 6 damage, resulting in even more potential card draw. And what I've done is I've included Hone Technique to add a couple more damage to No Quarter, so it could potentially be hitting for 8. And I've got a couple copies of that, because this is a 50-card deck and I would like to draw this sooner rather than later. And then because we have so many requirements like the punch, and then Hone Technique requires a mental to trigger its ability, I've got a Martial Prowess to help pay for the punch, and she of course has her suit to give me a wild that's going to help pay for those things as well. And then I have 3 copies of Plan of Attack to help me dig out No Quarter from my deck. 3 1x1s because that's just going to work really nicely against the drones. 3 Relentless Assaults are going to work very well with Hone Technique and against the drones because I could potentially be doing a lot of overkill damage. And then, similar to what I said in the Wasp deck, I have 3 Bring. It's not because I'm trying to get engaged with a lot of minions, but it's not uncommon against Ultron to start your turn with 2 or 3 drones in front of you. So if Bring It lets me draw a few cards, then great. Now I do have 2 Looking for Troubles. I'm not really going to need the help finding minions, but I do need to be able to manage threat, and that's pretty much how aggression does it. And I also have 3 Chase Them Downs. So between those 2, hopefully I can keep the threat under control. It's always so difficult in aggression. And then I have a few allies here to help me out. The Locust is a great red ally for champions. It lets you return aggression event from your discard pile to your hand, so I can get my no quarters back, or whichever is best in that situation. Angela, just a cheap ally, and go grab another minion to blow up. Spider Girl, just because she's cheap and helpful. Throg's going to be a nice blocker. And then because Ms. Marvel likes to go to Alter Ego so much, I have Psylocke. Hopefully I can get her out and get a couple confuses so I can flip down against Ultron, which can be difficult because if you do have a lot of minions in front of you, they're going to scheme too. But hopefully I can at least confuse Ultron, and then I can make use of Bruno, Amir, and Nakia for Ms. Marvel, as well as a Hall of Heroes and 1 Assault Training to shuffle in some no quarters back into the deck, and 2 Power of Aggression. So I think this should work nicely, but Ultron on Expert is really hard because he has so much health. He has 22 health on a stage 2 and 27 on a stage 3, so we have to chew through 49 hit points in solo. Mysterio only had 33. That's a pretty significant difference. So I haven't played Ms. Marvel in a long time, so she was actually one of the first people I threw in that box because I really wanted an excuse to play her again, so I'm really looking forward to this. I'm going to shuffle up. Let's get started. It is really weird to be shuffling a deck this big. All right, just a quick shuffle of the encounter deck, and then we can get started. So like I said with Ultron, he enables very specific strategies because of the nature of the drones. You're guaranteed to be getting them, and they're very easy to take advantage of or deal with. But he also has the potential to wreck your strategy because of the nature of the way the drones work. I have to start the game with the top card of my deck in play as a drone. It's a 1/1 minion. Ultron Drones tells us how that works. And it's entirely possible you'll lose your key cards to becoming drones. So it's kind of an interesting counterbalance, I think, in that sometimes Ultron can be easy against certain heroes or certain strategies because of the way the drones work, but he also can dismantle your deck and you won't get the cards you need. So that's 1/1 drone. And now we're ready to get started. Kamala has a 6-hand size. I'll kind of explain how she works as I go if you haven't seen her. We get Nakia, Bring It, Strength, Power of Aggression, 1/1, and an Assault Training. Okay. Some of these I don't need to see early. Definitely want Nakia. She has a lot of these Alter Ego supports that really help her. Half of her game takes place in Alter Ego. It's absolutely amazing if you can do it. It's a little bit trickier in solo, but if you can make it work, it's so fun. Bring It's just going to cycle itself, so I might as well just cycle it now. I don't need the Assault Training this early in the game, I don't think. At least it's not key. 1/1 could help me take out a drone, but I'm just going to be looking for my setup pieces. I think this is going to be a long game. So if I have a couple drones in front of me, that's fine. I'm just going to hold on to these resources, actually. And then we're going to Big Hands for some damage, Shrink for some extra threat removal, Hall of Heroes will be nice, and Looking for Trouble. Okay. Not the greatest opening, but I got a couple decent things to get started. Now, Kamala has this very handy Alter Ego action that lets me discard cards from the top of my deck until I discard a Ms. Marvel card, and then I add that to my hand. Now in a 50-card deck, I'm less likely to hit one soon, so hopefully I don't discard too many key cards before I find one. Oh, there goes a Hone Technique. That's unfortunate. Okay, I got the suit. That's really nice. Really glad I included 2 Hone Techniques. A lot of times with cards like that, I only end up including one because you can only have one on the table, but in a 50-card deck, I wanted to be able to draw it. Plus, against Ultron, I didn't want to lose one to a drone. So I went ahead and put 2 in there, and I'm glad I did. I also didn't include Aggressive Energy or Follow Through, which I think would work exceptionally well in this deck, but I think those would work better in multiplayer just because I actually had a hard time getting this down to 50 cards, and I wanted those cards in here, but I also have to be able to manage the threat in solo, so I ended up including those cards, and I think if you played this in multiplayer, you could just ignore the threat removal cards and get the Aggressive Energies and the Follow-Throughs in here to work even better. So what we're going to do, I'll go ahead and use the Power of Aggression to get a Hall of Heroes on the table. Now every time I kill a minion, and we'll see how many times I forget to do this, but when I defeat a minion, I put a counter here, and then when I go to Alter Ego, I can exhaust this, remove 3 counters, and draw 3 cards. Don't often use that in solo because usually can't really make use of it more than once, so it just ends up paying for itself. But I think we'll get enough use out of it in this game that it was worth including. And then what Nakia does is she basically works the same as a helicarrier. I can exhaust her to reduce the cost of the next card I play by 1, so I'm just going to go ahead and get out my suit. I'll just set that there, sort of my resource generators. The suit lets me pay for events with a wild resource. Going to use the double resource to bring out Shrink. So if you don't know Ms. Marvel, real quick, the way she works is she's all about events. When you play an event, you can exhaust her to return to your hand if it's an attack, thwart, or defense event. It doesn't work on like one way or another, stuff like that. But you can exhaust her to bounce it back to your hand, so that's a very powerful thing. So you don't really use her stats. Her stats look terrible, but you're really all about bouncing the events, and then she can make the event stronger. She has Shrink that makes a thwart event remove 2 extra threat, and then she has Embiggen that makes a damage event do 2 more damage. So just absolutely awesome, the things she can do with events. And it definitely took me a minute to understand how that worked. I think she was kind of the first example of how incredibly creative the heroes in this game could be. And she came out pretty early, but it was so different from how everybody else worked. I think there were some people who maybe didn't like her at first because it took a little while to figure out how to play her right. But once you figure it out, it is one of the most fun ways to play in the whole game, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and flip into hero form. And I know I said you don't normally use her stats, but I think I'm just going to punch this drone. I'm not looking to let him build up. Yeah, I'm just going to have her attack this drone for 1. See what it was. Oh, it was just a 1x1, no big deal. And that does get me a counter on Hall of Heroes. I'll just kind of set him right above it. You know what? Maybe I should use a die. Might be a better way to keep track of it. Hopefully I'm killing enough that a die is worth using. And then I'm just going to use the suit for a resource and a looking for trouble for a resource, because I don't need to remove any threat, to just do a big hands on Ultron, hit him for 4, get this started. Knocking him down to 18, and I should say that I start at 10. And that is all I can do, but we definitely got some nice setup pieces out. Getting this early is going to be very nice, that suit. The Shrink, I don't know, maybe that'll be useful. You know, Shrink a looking for trouble to remove 5 threat, that could be cool. All right, we're drawing 5 cards. We get Chase Them Down. We really love to see a no quarter. And Embiggen, well, that's fantastic. Definitely want to see that early. Bring It, and another Chase Them Down. Okay, well, we've got threat on lockdown. Crimson Cowl goes up by 1. It doesn't do anything special, but it only goes to 3 before we lose it. And a very good strategy against Ultron is to try to stay on stage 1 if you can. He gets a little bit harder if you get to stage 2, but it can be hard because it only goes up to 3, and it can be really hard when you're playing aggression. So we will see. Now, the way Ultron works on his stage 2, when he attacks you, you put the top card of your deck into play as a drone. So I'm going to automatically get a drone just for him starting to attack me. And then he gets an attack boost for each drone that's engaged with me. So he's actually attacking me for 3 already. And I didn't draw any of my defense cards. So we're just going to be taking a big hit to the face here to start the game. She has a phenomenal defense event, Wiggle Room, that I'm really going to be leaning hard on, along with my allies, to defend myself, but didn't draw it. So he's attacking me for 2, 3, 4. Happy to see that gone. So down to 6, and then I'm going to take another damage from the drone, so down to 5. And then my encounter card is, Gang Up. He's attacking me. I could die here. This might be a very quick game, which is sad because we had a nice start. Yeah, because he's going to be adding another drone, and then he's attacking for 4. Yeah, 5, 6. Yep, that is that. Yeah, I'll defend for 4. So I take 3 damage. I'm down to 2, and then the drones kill me. Well, okay, that's how that went. We'll shuffle up and try again. All right, we are now 0 for 4 with aggression. Kind of knew the aggression games weren't going to go great. I'm no aggression expert, and it's just harder to play in solo anyway, but man, was expecting to go 0 for 4. All right, let's try again. Game 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we get a nice double. 2 Bring It's. That's horrendous to see in your opening hand. Really sad about that. Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to reshuffle because I forgot I should have had a drone. So Glad to see that opening hand go away. So yeah, got to start with the drone. Now I'll draw 6, 1 by 1. Power of aggression, big hands, relentless assault. Come on, give me at least one setup piece. Nothing. All right, we're gonna keep the double for red and discard everything else because we'd really like to see our ambigens and stuff like that. Hone technique, plan of attack, no quarter. Well, that'll be nice. The locust, looking for trouble, and a genius. All right, we're gonna use Kamala's power to look for one of her cards. Got a mirror, that's nice. It's very nice, actually. We're gonna go ahead and use Looking for Trouble to bring out Amir Khan. His ability in Alter Ego, you exhaust him to put a card from discard pile on the bottom of your deck and draw a card. So it's a way to guarantee you get to see some of your cards a couple times, which is awesome. We're gonna go ahead and use him to put big hands on the bottom, just put some damage back in the deck. And then he also lets you draw a card into Spider-Girl. Go ahead and play Plan of Attack. Search the top 4 cards of your deck, or top 7 if you're in Alter Ego, which I am, for an attack event, and add it to my hand. I'm seeing a lot of attack events here. 5, 6, oh, both home techniques. So I'll just go ahead and add, probably not actually gonna play it. So I'll just add one of these 1 by 1s to my hand. Leave the big hands in the deck for later. All right, we're gonna change to hero form, and at least we're gonna get to see no quarter this time, because I'm gonna go ahead and use the power of aggression to play no quarter. So I met the punch requirement because I used 2 wilds. And I deal 4 damage to an enemy. For each point of excess, I get to discard the top card of my deck and add aggression cards to my hand. So we're going to hit the drone for 4, which is going to be 3. Oh, it was my Embiggen, so that's unfortunate. That's 3 excess damage, so we're going to discard 3 cards and every aggression card I get to add to my hand, which was all 3. So that was amazing. Unfortunately, I don't have any more things to no quarter now. I could exhaust Ms. Marvel to return no quarter to my hand. And I might as well. I think that's probably more valuable than just punching for 1. Going to use this double resource to get Hall of Heroes on the table. Just going to use Throg and 1 by 1 to bring out Spider-Girl for a little bit of damage and a blocker. I'm going to use 2 no quarters to bring out the Locust. You can only play her if you're a champion, and when she enters play, you get to add an aggression event from your discard pile to your hand. I'm just going to pull this no quarter back, and I'm going to hold on to it for next turn. And we're just going to have Spider-Girl and the Locust attack for a total of 3 damage. Down to 19. They both take consequential. And hopefully I don't immediately get blown up by another gang up. Alrighty, so I'm holding on to no quarter, and we draw Psylocke, bring it, chase them down, and a 1 by 1. Go into the villain phase. Crimson Cow gets 1. Ultron makes a drone, and he's attacking me. I'm just going to block with the Locust. So he's attacking me for 2, 3, 4, 5. Happy to see Shadow's gone. The Locust is out. The drone hits me for 1, down to 9. And please don't kill me. Ah, he's gonna scheme, darn it. So 2, it's just enough. We move on to the next scheme. So Assault on NORAD tells us each player puts top card of their deck as a drone. Like I said, it's easy to get a bunch of drones during the villain phase. And then now at least this one goes up to 10, but from now on, at the beginning of the villain phase, I have to either put an extra threat here or get another drone, which, you know, I kind of don't mind seeing the drones, but they can get out of hand if you're not careful. So the first thing we're going to do is play Bring It. We've got 2 minions in front of us, so we draw 2 cards. I get a Relentless Assault and an Energy, very nice. But what I don't have is a punch resource to pay for no quarter. That is incredibly disappointing. So we're just going to use Relentless Assault to pay for a 1 by 1, deal 2 damage to an enemy, and if it defeats that enemy, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So I'm just going to hit this one for 2. It defeats this one. Get my Assault training back, so we do 2 damage to this one. Getting, oh, there's Martial Prowess. Yes, I need to get that down to guarantee that I always have a punch to pay for no quarter. Wow, well, like I said, he's really good at dismantling your strategy by turning your cards into drones, and I lost Embiggen and Martial Prowess to drones, so that's not great. That's really going to slow me down. So we killed 2 minions. That ticks up to 2. Then I'm going to use a double, chase them down, and a no quarter. I'll just have to get it back later. To play Psylocke, she comes in with 2 counters on her. And when she attacks an enemy, we're going to attack Ultron here. You get to remove a counter, you deal an additional damage, and confuse them. So Ultron is confused, and he takes a total of 2 damage, 1 from her attack and then 1 from her ability. Now that he's confused, I could have used Ms. Marvel to bounce that 1/1 into my hand, but I don't think was really necessary. I didn't need the resource. So I guess we'll just go ahead and have her ping Ultron for 1. I don't need to heal. I'll flip down because we're confused. I'm going to use Amir to put a card on the bottom and then draw a card. Well, we're going to want that Martial Prowess sooner rather than later. Drawing into, oh, the suit. Awesome. All right, I'm going to hold on to that for next turn. Or do I use her ability to get a card of hers? Yes, I'm just going to use her ability to find a... Oh, perfect. Nakia. Ah, which one do I play? I play the suit. But now I kind of wish I just held on to it. Okay, yes, that's nice. That is nice. So I feel like we're in much better shape than last game, considering we got to play 2 turns. And drawing 6 cards. Big hands, sneak by, Relentless Assault. Big hands, sneak by. What in the world? What? Sneak by? Okay, well, we can remove a lot of threat if we really, really, really needed to. So I put 1 threat on the main scheme, and then it says, after placing threat here during step 1, each player must choose either place 2 more threat or put the top card of their deck face down as a drone. I pretty much always want drones. Even though I have so much threat removal in my hand, I could easily handle the threat. I want a drone to blow up so I can make use of my cool cards. So we'll do the drone. And then Ultron is confused, so he doesn't scheme, and his ability only triggers when he attacks, so I don't have to worry about that. The drone does scheme for 1. Now my card is going to be a swarm attack. Each drone minion engaged with your hero attacks. If no attacks remain this way, you get a drone. So many drones. Drone, drone, drone. All right. That was pretty easy. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is use Amir to put a card on the bottom and draw a card. And as much as I want to get Embiggen back, I feel like it should probably be no quarter because, well, no, I will do Embiggen. I'll put it on the bottom. There's 1 more no quarter still in the deck, and I'd really, really like to get Embiggen out. So put that on the bottom and then draw cards, Plane of Attack. And she does still have 5 more Ms. Marvel cards in her deck. I did a quick count. So I am going to use her ability to discard until I find one. Oh, beautiful. Bruno comes out immediately. We are going to use a sneak by to play Bruno. He, as another alter ego action, you can exhaust him to attach a card from your hand face down, similar to George Stacy, except for he only works in alter ego. And then as an action, you can exhaust him to add some of those cards to your hand. So that is very nice. So we're going to be able to use him to set up cool combos, or just hold on to cards like sneak by that we don't need 3 of in our hand. We'll just keep it there for later. We're going to use Plane of Attack while we're still in alter ego to go try to find that other no quarter. I get to look at the top 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See if we can't find the other. Oh, darn it. And we actually, oh, we did find Big Hand. So we did find an attack event, just not the one we were looking for. It's cool having effects like that in Ms. Marvel's deck, though, that shuffle your deck, because Amir puts cards on the bottom, but then you do something else that lets you shuffle, and maybe you can get that card you put on the bottom sooner. All right, we're going to go to hero form. We're going to use the suit and a big hands. Play Relentless Assault, deal 5 damage to a minion if you paid for it with a punch, which I had a wild here. So I did. It gives overkill, so we're going to blow up one of these drones, dealing 4 overkill. Oh, well, there's the other no quarter. That would be why we didn't find it. Gets us up to 3. Man, Ultron can be such a pain that way. He takes all your key cards. And that dealt 4 overkill to 12, or down to 12. Now I could exhaust Ms. Marvel to get that Relentless Assault back. but I'm not going to. I'm just going to have her punch this drone, chase them down back, ticks up to 4. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be worth it in this solo game. And then we're just going to use 2 big hands to play a sneak by to remove this threat. Her Psylocke should have taken a damage. And then we're going to go ahead and use her to confuse Ultron again. So he takes 2 damage and is confused again. Hopefully in advance doesn't eat that. I'd like to flip down again. I'm getting through my deck pretty fast, so I'd like to kill Psylocke off so I can draw her again. So actually I'll probably use her as a blocker. And that is going to be that. Drawing 5. There's martial prowess, plan of attack, but we know our no quarters are gone. Hone technique, bring it. Come on, give me a double for red to get hone technique down. Bring it. Okay, because hone technique can be kind of a pain to play. It takes 2 mental. So if you have the power of aggression, it's a lot easier to get that on the table. But we do have a bring it, so we should draw some more cards. Putting 1 on the main, and then we either need a drone or 2 more threat. We're going to take the drone. Ultron is attacking. Yeah, we're going to block with Psylocke so that she gets knocked out, and I can shuffle her back into my deck soon. So she's taking 2, 3. Oh, when he attacks you, I need another drone. Yep. And then he's taking some damage. Okay, so she gets knocked out. Glad to see upgraded drones gone. That card is really nasty. I'm taking 2 from the drones, down to 7. And my encounter card is Android Efficiency. You get a drone. In multiplayer, everybody gets a drone, so that card scales pretty nastily in a 4-player game, but it's a pretty easy card in solo, especially when you have Bring It in your hand. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 3 cards. We get Wiggle Room. There's my defense, finally. Power of Aggression. Oh, perfect. And Embiggen, yes! Getting all the good stuff. Okay, I have another Bring It in my hand, but you can only play 1 a turn. I'm going to Alter Ego, so I don't need Wiggle Room. I really want to get Hone Technique on the table and Martial Prowess. So those are kind of my priorities. So we're going to use the Power of Aggression for 2 mentals, and to Bring It, since I can't play it anyway, to get out Hone Technique. So when you play an aggression attack event, if you paid for it using a mental resource, it gets increased by its cost. So No Quarter now deals 6 damage, Relentless Assault now deals 7 damage, 1 by 1 now deals 3 and 3. Just so cool. I don't play a lot of aggression, but I will admit that card is absolutely awesome. So that is that. Unfortunately, I can't afford everything I would like to do, and I don't really have a plan for all these drones. Well, we're going to use Wiggle Room and Plan of Attack to get Martial Prowess down, just for more future resources. We're going to hold on to Embiggen for a moment. All right, we're just going to have Ms. Marvel punch 1. She's doing a lot more punching than I normally do, but we got to make sure we keep these under control. Wiggle Room. That goes up to 5. And then we are going to use Spider-Girl to knock out another one, which will not take up my Hall of Heroes because that wasn't my hero. There's my other Hone Technique. Just, we don't want too many drones out here scheming, because we're going to go to Alter Ego. All right, I'm going to use a mirror to put a card on the bottom and draw a card. Let's go ahead and guarantee that we get Nakia. And then I'm drawing into, oh, Strength. That could not have worked out better, because now I can use Strength to play Embiggen just to get this on the table. We'll put that right there, I guess. And I have 5 counters on Hall of Heroes, but I'm going to save those until I start my next turn. And I could use her ability to discard until I find a card, but it's probably just going to be Nakia, and I'm going to end up holding her till next turn, so I won't bother. So yeah, we're just going to ready everything. Oh, we've got all our key pieces on the board already. We got Hone Technique, we got resources. Hall of Heroes going to draw some cards. Yeah, we are looking good here. So we're drawing Nakia and Chase Them Down. It's going to get us an extra encounter. Got Embiggen to start really blowing up these drones with No Quarter. So I think we're about as set up as we need to. Hopefully we can just start hitting Ultron as hard as we can. He's got a lot of health. All right, so I still need 4 more cards. We get Hone Technique. That will be a nice resource. Strength. energy, speaking of resources, and genius. What are you talking? That's crazy. Okay, well, yeah, that's a lot of money and not a lot to do. So, putting one threat on the main, and then either more threat or a drone. With what's in my hand, I don't actually have a good plan for drones, but I am going to get to draw 3 cards, another card. Yeah, I'll take the drone. I'm sure we'll figure something out. And then Ultron is confused, and then the drones are scheming for 2. Now, I do have 2 encounter cards, so we could find ourselves in a pretty deep hole here. Oh, he's going to scheme. Not cool, not cool. 2, well, there goes long shot. So that's the second game in a row. I saw him as a 0 boost, so I guess that's nice. And, oh, he gets his bonus scheme card. I'm glad we saw this second. All right, back to us. And I gotta say, if I wasn't about to draw a bunch of cards, I wouldn't love where we're at right now. There's a pretty decent amount of threat on the scheme. We've already got 2 drones in front of us, and I have no attacks currently available to me, but we are going to get to draw some cards, so we should be able to improve our situation here. We're going to use 3 of the counters on Hall of Heroes to draw 3 cards, getting wiggle room, big hands, come on, no quarter, and a power of aggression, more resources. Well, when you build a 50-card deck, you're certainly at the mercy of what you draw. It's just going to be so inconsistent. Because I have so many more resources that I need, I'm going to use an energy to play Nakia to get her on the board. That way I can use a mirror to put that energy back in my deck. So he's going to put that on the bottom. I'm just going to start stacking these up. There's so many of them. So that's going to go on the bottom, and then I draw a card. Hopefully no quarter. Another big hands. Well, at least it's damage. Might as well use Bruno while we're here. He can hold on to some resources for us. We don't need them. We'll use Kamala's ability. Actually, should have done this first. See what I end up with. There goes Bring It. Relentless Assault. 1 by 1. Relentless Assault. No quarter. Plan of attack. Here we go. Oh boy. This is... Well, okay, we get Red Dagger. Hey, it's something to do with our resources at least. Now, we have Nakia. She basically works like a helicarrier, but you have to exhaust her in Alter Ego. So she's going to make my next card 1 cheaper. And we're going to flip to hero form. And with Nakia's discount along with this double, we're going to go ahead and play Red Dagger, Ms. Marvel's signature ally. When he dies, you can spend some resources to deal some damage and return him to your hand. We're going to use Ms. Marvel to punch one of these drones. Just continue to do that. Plane of attack back. That gets me a counter. We're going to have Red Dagger punch the other one. Get my shrink back. I don't get a counter for that. He takes a damage. When Ms. Marvel punched the 1, I was going to play Chase Them Down to remove 2 threat. Let me not forget to do that. Sorry if I'm being a little bit scatterbrained in this one. This is one of those very early morning games. Very early morning. Okay, now, got the drones taken off the board. We're going to use the Suit and Martial Prowess to play a big hand, and we're going to embiggen it to deal 6 damage to Ultron, knocking him down to 4. So we're doing a good job of damaging him through this first stage of him here. Well, it's the second stage, but the first one in this game. I'm going to go ahead and use these 2 as mental resources to get rid of the program transmitter. Since we go to Alter Ego so much, we don't want him having that. And I didn't need those cards anyway. I'm going to discard this big hands. I'm going to hold on to Wiggle Room for the villain phase. So, I love readying all this stuff. We've got another Hall of Heroes loaded up for when we go to Alter Ego. And gonna draw up, chase them down, big hands. Come on, give me a no quarter. Angela and Looking for Trouble. Okay. Assault on NORAD goes to 5, and then it's either 2 threat or a drone. All right, I have Angela and Looking for Trouble in my hand, so I think I'm going to end up with a minion or two on my turn. So I'm actually going to do the threat because I have more threat removal than damage right now. So we're going to put 2 more threat on there. It does go up to 7 of 10, which is really scary. And we've seen both advances, though. He does have Rage of Ultron, but that only makes him scheme in Alter Ego. Yes, so we're okay there. So hopefully we shouldn't lose the scheme here. Now, when he attacks me, we're getting a drone. And he's attacking me for 2/3 plus a boost. I'm just going to let it come at me. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to play Wiggle Room. When you would take any amount of damage, prevent 3 of it to draw a card. So now I'm taking 3 damage. I get Sneak By. And if I want to, I could exhaust Ms. Marvel to return that to my hand and play it again, which is what I'm going to do. Which is such an awesome thing about Ms. Marvel. So I'm going to bring that back to my hand. I'm just going to play it again in the same, this is all in the same response interrupt window. So I prevented that damage and drew another card. So I took 0 damage and drew 2 cards and got Plan of Attack. So maybe I can finally find a no quarter. Awesome, awesome, awesome. The drone is going to hit me for 1. I'm down to 6. And we just have the 1 card, which is an advanced Ultron drone. He has guard, and when I kill him, I have to put out another drone. When you play Ultron, you see the word drone so many times, it creates a hole in your brain, and it doesn't even mean anything anymore. Okay, I would like to remove as much of that threat as I can, so I could hopefully maybe go to Alter Ego. I should probably wait till I draw Psylocke, but I can't guarantee I'm going to draw Psylocke because she might get turned into a drone. And you do not want to go to stage 3 against Ultron because it basically becomes a timer. You cannot remove threat from that. And you basically just have 3, 4, maybe 5 turns before the game's over. So we got to keep it on stage 2. Well, let's play Plan of Attack to see if I can get a no quarter. It's going to let me look at the top 4 cards in hero form for an attack event. No luck. Well, at least we know Psylocke is still in the deck. No attack events, so that was just a waste of a card. Didn't get too lucky there. We've only seen 1 no quarter, so that's too bad. Now, you got to be careful when you flip Ultron to stage 3 because he's going to spit out a bunch of drones and put out a side scheme. So I want to make sure I'm prepared for that. And I don't feel like I am right now. So I could do a bunch of damage to him, but I don't think I should. So we're going to use these 2 as resources to play a big hands for 4 damage. I could embiggen it to 6, but there's no need. I'm just going to kill this guard, which is going to get us a drone. Hopefully that's not Psylocke or no quarter. We're going to get the cards back from Bruno. We'll just take both of them here. And then we'll just use the strength to play a Sneak By to remove 3 of the threat off of there. I don't think I should play Angela or Looking for Trouble, actually. So I'm going to play both of these to Sneak By to remove 3 more threat. Getting it down to 1. Red Dagger could clear it, and then if I go to Alter Ego, it'll be 0. It'll get 1. He'll scheme for 2, plus we're putting 2 more from the drones. That is really risky to go to Alter Ego right now. But man, you just miss out on so much with Ms. Marvel if you aren't flipping down. No, we're going to stay up. I got to play it safe here. Red Dagger's going to take out a drone, get the Locust back, and then now he's just going to be my blocker. And I think that is all I'm going to do. All right, I'm just going to discard Chase Them Down. I was debating whether to hold on to it, and I guess I just decided not to. Ready up Red Dagger and Bruno. We're going to draw 5. Looking at Throg, Wiggle Room. Oh, maybe Red Dagger will survive, actually, and threat removal. Still no quarter. So the game's been really fun, and I got all my cool pieces out, but I am sad I haven't gotten to do more no quartering. Definitely want to see that in action. All right, this goes up to 2, and then I either need to put 2 more or another drone, and then he's going to put out a drone. All right, I'm currently more equipped to handle threat than damage, I think. So that's going up to 4. He attacks me, so I get a drone. He's attacking me for 4 plus a boost. I've got Wiggle Room, so I'm just going to take it. 4, and I'm stunned. That's not going to be helpful. So I'm taking 4 damage. I'll use Wiggle Room to prevent 3 of it and draw a card. And then I could return it to my hand, but I'm not going to because I want to use her ability. Probably. Being stunned. That's a pain. That's a pain. That's a pain. All right, I'm taking 2 more damage from the drones, down to 4. I'm really going to have to flip down and heal, probably. I don't feel like I'm in real good shape here. And our encounter card is Master Plan. Looks like I have to go find a side scheme, which is going to be Invasive AI. This is going to cost me 3 cards off the top of my deck. It has 3 threat on it. So I'm losing Spider Girl, Bring It, and Psylocke. I was really counting on that. Yeah, this is feeling like it's not going well. Okay, that's fine. We're doing our best here. I'll go ahead and play Throg while I have minions, and he'll get a tough. Got to get rid of the Invasive AI because it's got a hazard, so we don't want extra encounter cards. I'm stunned, so I can't really deal with these drones as well as I'd like to. All right, well, we're going to worry about the threat right now. We're just going to use Sneak By to get rid of Invasive AI. Then we're going to use Kamala. I'd like to return that to my hand, but I feel like I really need to clear my stun because I'm going to want to heal. Oh, man, this is a tough spot. No, we're gonna return it so I can play it again, and I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the suit and Relentless Assault to Sneak By again, remove 3 from the main. We're actually gonna have Red Dagger and Throg take out these 2 drones. There's no quarter. Red Dagger is going to go away. If I had 2 resources to spend, I could return to my hand, but I don't, and I'm not going to. He loses his tough. And you know what? It's incredibly risky, but I am going to go to Alter Ego. I want to make use of all my cool stuff. So we're going to use Amir to put Psylocke on the bottom of our deck. And draw a card. We get Looking for Trouble. And I'm not going to use Kamala's power to look for a Ms. Marvel card because there are none left in her deck, so I don't want to lose Psylocke. And I'm going to save the Hall of Heroes for next turn. Hopefully we don't scheme out here. So, ready everything up. And I kind of need to heal, but I also need to clear my stun. So I don't know. Ultron is really bringing the fight here. He just gives you so much to deal with. So we're not going to hold on to Looking for Trouble. We don't care about that. We're going to deck out either way. So we get Psylocke 1 by 1, chase them down, and there's no quarter. That'll be nice. And getting extra card. And there are Rage of Ultron still in the deck, so he could extra scheme. If he pushes us to stage 3, we're going to be in a real big hurry after that. But we do have a no quarter, so that'll be nice. So we have 4, Plan of Attack, and Bring It. Okay. Do not despair. So we're adding 1, and I'm going to take the drone because he's not going to be giving me 1 when he attacks. And I don't mind having some drones because I have Bring It in my hand and no quarter. He is scheming. Please scheme lightly. 2 and 0. Either spend a punch resource or I get a drone. Weirdly, I don't have a punch resource, but I'll take the drone anyway. And then, so he schemes for 2, and they're going to scheme, so it's a total of 4. Okay, that could have been much worse. And then I'm going to have 2 encounter cards. Okay, this could be very bad. Caught off guard. Probably live without Bruno. Yeah, I think he's the least useful thing on the table. Sorry, Bruno. And Gang Up's just going to surge. Scared me for a second. Into, there it is. Rage of Ultron is going to scheme. And I discard the top card of my deck for each threat placed this way. Okay, here we go. Scheming for 2, 3, 4. Just enough. Okay, we go to stage 3. That's really bad. Okay, Countdown to Oblivion. When revealed, everybody gets a drone. And so there's 5 threat on here, and threat cannot be removed. Goes up by 1 a turn. So it starts at 0, thankfully. So we basically have 5 turns if we don't let him scheme, which means even though I have Psylocke, probably not going to alter ego because of the drones. I don't know. We got to kill him. We just got to kill him. Let's see. He still has 31 health. So we got to hit him for 4, flip him, and then hit him for 27. Maybe we can do that this turn. Let's find out. First thing we are going to do is Hall of Heroes. I draw 3. We get sneak by. We don't really care about threat removal, resources, and assault training. Yeah. Not that exciting. We're going to get Plan of Attack while we're in Alter Ego, so we can look at 7 cards. Would love to see a Relentless Assault to get some, yes, overkill damage. There is a no quarter, but I already have one. So yeah, so we'll leave that one in the deck. We'll take a Relentless Assault. That was good, that was good. And we can still Amir, and we can still Nakia. All right, we're just going to use Amir to put, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Plan of Attack on the bottom. I just want to draw the card into big hands. That's damage. That's nice. That's good. We like that. I'm wondering, I guess I don't heal because I have to clear my stun. So we're just going to have to assume we're going to win or be able to stay alive. So I'm not going to heal. And do I want to use her power? Yeah, I might as well. Oh, beautiful. That was definitely the card I wanted to see, big hands. Okay, so we used that. We're going to Nakia, so whatever we play next will cost 1 less. And we might just try to go all in and see if we can't win this turn, which I don't like doing the math ahead of time because it's not very fun and it's kind of exciting just to see what happens. So it would be smarter to do the math ahead of time. I just don't like doing it. So we're going to flip to hero form. I'm going to exhaust to clear my stun, which means I won't be able to use her power. Ooh, maybe instead, I have a decent amount of attack events in my hand. Maybe it would be smarter to just play 1 to clear the stun. Well, I'll play a Bring It first, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to draw 3 more cards. Wiggle Room, Spider-Girl, and Plan of Attack. Go ahead and use Plan of Attack to find maybe, hopefully, more damage. Nope, that was a waste of a resource. Plan of Attack is not a card I love. I don't play it a lot. Why? I don't play Aggression a lot, but it's nice with Ms. Marvel because you get to look at the 7 cards in Alter Ego, and it's nice when you're playing with something like No Quarter where you're very specifically looking for a certain card. But that's the second time that's happened to me where I searched for cards and didn't find anything. That's less fun. So I have to decide, is it worth it to just exhaust to clear my stun, or should I play a cheap card to clear it? I think if we're going all in on big damage, it would be smarter to play a cheap card to clear it. So that's what I'm going to do. We don't care about threat removal, so I'm going to use a sneak by to play 1 by 1, which would be very nice to kill 2 of these drones, but that's just going to clear our stun. Now, we're finally going to get to do the thing we really wanted to do. At least we'll get to do it once. So we're going to exhaust the suit for a mental resource and martial prowess for a punch. We're going to play No Quarter, deal 4 damage to an enemy. For each point of excess damage dealt, flip cards and add red ones to your hand. So it's actually 6 damage because of Hone Technique, and we're going to embiggen it up to 8. We're going to blow up a drone. So we did 7 points of excess damage, so we're looking at 7 cards, and we get to add all the red ones to our hand, which was most of them. So we don't get Sneak By and Wiggle Room, but we do get these 5. So that was awesome. Got to draw 5 cards. And then I could exhaust Ms. Marvel to return that No Quarter to my hand, but I'm not going to because I want to make sure I'm doing my big damage to Ultron. Now we need to hit Ultron for 4, flip him. Oh, I think you have to kill all the drones before you can damage him. Shoot. Yes, I believe you have to kill all the drones. Okay, well then, oh boy. Okay, well then we better do that then. Let's flip him, get the drones, kill him, and go from there. So we're going to use 2 resources for our big hands. We're going to deal 4 damage to Ultron, dropping him to 0. And that doesn't get boosted by Hone Technique because that only works on aggression cards. He goes to stage 3. The drones get +1 attack and +1 hit point. He can't take damage while they're in play. And I have to go get the Ultron Imperative Side Scheme, which I'm pretty sure puts more drones in play. I don't think, did we see a single temporal card this game? I don't think so. Maybe like as a boost, but I don't think any of them came out. That's kind of weird. I guess we already saw the side scheme. Yeah, I guess so. I should have checked the discard pile first, but I didn't remember seeing it. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right, when revealed, and we do have to reveal it, we get 2 more drones. So we have 4 drones. We can't damage Ultron until those are dead. That has 2 threat with a hazard. Thankfully, killing the drones actually won't be too much trouble. Looking for trouble to play 1 by 1. To kill 2 of them, 2 damage to 1, and then when you defeat an enemy, 2 damage to another. So we kill both of these. I'm going to Ms. Marvel to return that to my hand so that I can't remove. Oh, and then we'll use Chase Them Down to go ahead and remove the threat from here. I doubt we're going to be able to do 27 damage this turn, so let's get rid of that. But we can at least get ourselves set up. Get all these drones off the table. He doesn't make them for free anymore. And hopefully finish him next turn. And then we're probably not going to Alter Ego anymore, so I'm going to use Assault Training to play another 1 by 1. 2 damage to this one. Defeats it, which means I can do 2 damage to another enemy. Okay, we did that. We are at 4. We have to be very aware of our health here. Now, how much damage can I do this turn? All right, I hate to give up a big hands, but it's the only punch resource in my hand, along with a mental from Plan of Attack, to play a no quarter on Ultron. That's going to hit him for 6, thanks to Hone Technique. It doesn't get to do the cool thing, because I didn't defeat an enemy with excess damage, but at least I did 6 damage, down to 21. And then we're just going to use these 2 resources to get Spider-Girl down for an extra blocker. He doesn't make drones automatically anymore, so I don't know that I need to keep this Relentless Assault in my hand. I am going to hold on to Wiggle Room, though, just in case. I don't know. I'm really nervous about the threat. I'm really nervous about my low health. Well, we're going to attack Ultron for 4. See, now I'm calling him a drone. Drones on the brain. Down to 17. 2 on them, and then I'm not going to hold on to Relentless Assault. Well, I feel like I've seen most of my damage is the problem. All the big hands are in the discard pile. Most of the no quarter. Oh, I think all the no quarters. Yeah, I don't have much attack left. So I guess I better hold on to it in case I get a minion. All right, well, I guess we're holding 2 cards. Don't love doing that, but I think I don't have much damage left, so I got to save what I do have. Also, Hall of Heroes should have 4 counters on it because I killed all 4 of those drones. I don't know if it's going to end up mattering or not. Can't go to Alter Ego, especially because I don't have Psylocke anymore. But I pretty much wasn't planning on it anyway. All right, that gets 1. He's attacking me for 4, but he doesn't make a drone. The scheme doesn't do anything. We're just going to block it with Throg. So 4, and then he heals 1 for each drone. Thankfully, there isn't any. So 5 damage total to Throg, and there are no drones. And then we just have Swarm Attack. Each drone engaged with you. Put the top. Okay, you just get a drone. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad we held onto that Relentless Assault. Oh, I didn't draw my cards, actually. So this should have been in my hand. Red Dagger, Genius, and Sneak By. I'm like so frazzled because I'm so nervous right now. I really want to get at least 1 win with an aggression deck, darn it. We're going to do these 2 along with an Embiggen to Relentless Assault that drone for a total of 5, 6, 7 because of Hone Technique, 8, 9 for the Embiggen. So we deal 9 damage to this thing, which 8 of it spills over to Ultron. That's pretty awesome. So he's down to 9. And then no need to return that to my hand because I can't play it again. We're going to do these 3 for Red Dagger. He's going to attack for 2, bring Ultron down to 7. I could get him down to 4 if I attack with Spider-Girl and Ms. Marvel. But if I just hold on to those 2 and I survive one more turn, I should be able to kill him off. So I'm going to hold on to Wiggle Room again just in case. I'm only at 4, so I have to be very careful with damage. So, well, Ms. Marvel might as well hit him for 1. Get him down to 6. Okay. So we're holding onto this again just to be safe. The Locusts, Power of Aggression. Oh, the Locust actually is going to be amazing. I can get one of my attack events back. And, okay. So we are guaranteed the win if we just survive this, which we should be able to. This is going up to 2. Cannot be removed. Only goes to 5. He's attacking for 4. Going to put Spider-Girl in front of that. Nothing. Spider-Girl gets knocked out. So it just comes down to our card, which is an Ancient Warrior. It does have Quick Strike. For 2, I will use that Wiggle Room to prevent the damage and draw a card into yet more resources. And I think we made it. We're going to use Bring It to draw a card because we have 1 minion in front of us. And we have a few different ways we could do this, but what we will do is use the Suit and Martial Prowess and Embiggen to Relentless Assault the Ancient Warrior for a total of 9. 2 gets eaten up by him. The other 7 goes to Ultron. And we got to win in aggression. And I'm so happy. It was not pretty. I feel like that was a dogfight of a game, and I definitely didn't get to do as much of the cool stuff as I wanted to do, but at least we did get 1 really good no quarter in there. Got to draw like 5 cards off of it. That was awesome. Got to draw a bunch of cards off of Hall of Heroes. Yeah, this is a deck that would be much better in multiplayer, just her ability to go to Alter Ego being much, much easier in Alter Ego, but at least we got to do it a few times. Psylocke helped a lot. Man, Psylocke is so key for aggression solo. That she is awesome. 4 is a lot to pay, and it doesn't always work out, but if you can get her on the table, it's just huge. Hone Technique earned us a bunch of extra damage. Whew, okay. That was Ms. Marvel. I think she attacked more often than I used her to return events to my hand, which was very strange. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this game was just weird. That was a weird one. But I definitely enjoyed it, and I'm happy to have won with aggression. All right, that was 9. We've got 3 left. Let's see who we get for next time. All right, we're nearing the end of this. There's only 3 villains and 3 heroes left. So let's just keep it going. And we'll do this one. Just hiding on the side there. He's going to, oh yeah. Hela. This might be my favorite villain. I said she was my favorite villain in the 50th, and I think that remains true. I haven't played her in a little while, but she is just so fun. The progression nature of her that you have to work your way through the side schemes is just really, really neat. Harkens back to Lord of the Rings, which I'm a huge fan of that game. And she gets 2 modulars. So let's see who we're pairing up with her. Oh, it's going to be Power Drain and Sci-Fi. Another Mojo one. Huge fan of the Mojo side schemes or modular counter sets. And yeah, Power Drain is just awesome. Discarding all the cards off the deck just adds a different element to most villains, and Electro's cool. So, well, that'll be definitely a different mix. Thematically, it's very strange. We're going down into hell with some robot versions of the Brotherhood and also Electro tagging along. Maybe Electro built the robots, powering them with his electricity. I don't know. But, well, that'll be awesome. And I know who these 3 heroes are, and I can tell you I'm incredibly excited to play all 3 of them. So, no matter who it is, I will be excited, and I'm really glad that we got the aggression games out of the way. 1, just because it's not my favorite way to play, and 2, aggression Hela that's tricky, because you definitely need to be able to manage threat. So I'm glad this won't be aggression. We still have 2 protection left. That would also be tricky, actually. If this ends up being protection, that could be tough, depending on who it is. And then 1 leadership and, or is it 2? Yeah, 2 protection and a leadership. That's what it is. So we played the Justice games, we played the aggression games, and we get our second X-Man, Shadowcat, my favorite X-Man. She's the one I've played the most. Got her out of the box first thing, played through the Mutant Genesis with her, just had an absolute blast, played a couple more games. She is just incredible. So I would not mind this being protection at all. And it is, yes. Her in protection is obviously just incredible. She's pretty good at managing threat, so being in protection shouldn't hurt us too badly. As far as Hell is concerned, the airwalks are really, really good, and she can exhaust a thwart for 2. Her Shadowcat surprise card that deals 3 damage and readies her is just so incredibly powerful. It's so versatile, giving us access to her 2 thwart again. She doesn't usually have to exhaust to defend. Yeah, this is going to be phenomenal. She is way up on my list. I love Shadowcat. And certainly in protection. Leadership would have been fine. You can definitely do some fun things there, but I think protection will work out better for her. And that's going to do it for this one. So I want to thank you for joining me for these 2. We played 5 aggression games. It's kind of ironic. The ones I was a little bit less excited about, the ones we end up playing the most games of. But we did get 1 win, 1-4 with aggression. And we brought down Ultron and Expert. I'm very, very pleased about that. So, but I want to thank you for joining me so much, and we're going to try to keep this week rolling. I don't know, can't guarantee I'm going to be able to do it. As always, I'm just so grateful for you for joining me. Thank you very much for watching these, leaving all the nice comments, all the likes, all the new subscribers. It's so wonderful to be doing this, and I'm looking forward to the final 3 plays. Take care, folks, and I hope to see you soon next time we get up in game. Bye-bye.